Zachary Levi's recent anti-Pfizer tweet, as well as Ezra Miller's questionable mental health situation where he is either in recovery or not. It's being disputed on a PR level. What is he doing to actually recover from being a violent criminal and alleged child predator?
Recovery.
Yeah. Peter Safran has come to Ezra Miller's defense, said Ezra is completely committed to their recovery. We are fully supportive of that journey they are on right now.
Did Mel Gibson get a recovery? Was that how it was treated? That Mel Gibson needed recovery?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Well, actually, it's funny because Robert Downey Jr. keeps pleading for him. They're like, give the dude a break. It was 2 decades ago now.
Are they still Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what James Gunn had to say, tangentially related to Zachary Levi's anti-Pfizer take. He said, real simply, actors and filmmakers I work with are going to say things that I agree with and things that I don't agree with, and that's going to happen. I don't have a list of things that somebody should say because of what I think, and I can't be changing my plans all the time because an actor says something that I don't agree with. And by the same token, if somebody's doing something morally reprehensible, then that's a different story. We have to take all that stuff into account. It's a balance, it's a modern world, and it's a different place. That was a bunch of word salad that basically means I'm not going to change my DC slate based on Ezra Miller being a repeat violent criminal or based on Zachary Levi being possibly a vaccine skeptic.
They're the same thing in Hollywood.
Or based on Gal Gadot being pro-Israel. Whatever it is you choose.
Very finely worded response.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought it was very sensible and saying listen, it sounded like he was okay, pat him on the head. I know you're upset, but this person said a thing and you're comparing it to a person who did a lot of very bad things and those aren't the same. I'm not going to change my plans, as he said, because this person said something we don't like. Now, if somebody does something morally reprehensible, as gingerly to a intellectual lightweight as he possibly could, called them a moron.
The person asking the question or Ezra Miller?
No, called the person asking the question a moron.
Yeah.
Saying
the question comes from a place of conflating having a non-approved opinion with being actually a violent,
I'm
unstable
just saying, calling
cult
it word
leader.
salad is I thought it was very condescending in the best possible way. I wouldn't consider how can I call you a moron without calling you a moron?
I'd have to hear it out loud, I think.
And that he even said may say things I disagree with because I don't feel like I live in a world where James Gunn is a big pharma advocate. I can't accept that.
Why not?
Because he is the opposite. I want him to remain the person he was in 2005.
You want him to be based.
Not even based. I don't consider old school liberals based, but they were anti-pharma. Yeah. They were against big how am I the anti-pharma person? The person who went to worked for my first boss out of college was Mike Pence. Okay, that's how am I the one who's I don't like these corporations? And they are whoa, please don't say something against Pfizer. He may have said anti-Pfizer comments.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which could be interpreted as anti-vaccine. Parentheses.
Which he never said.
How is this a world?
His explanation for posting that he thinks Pfizer is a danger to society was about a settlement that they paid out about the misrepresentation in advertising of a drug called Bextra. It has nothing to do with the vaccine. And even if it did, in his private opinion, which he's not voiced, literally, who cares?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ezra Miller is the actual PR problem for DC right now for a movie that is coming out this year. And he is the one getting treated with kid gloves, which I really resent.
I don't think he's even a PR problem because I don't think the media's talked about it enough for average
Well, because
people.
he's a they-them, non-binary indie soft boy, and he can't be criticized for that reason.
Normal people don't know that there's a problem there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you're looking into it,
I think they're treating it like a PR problem because if normal people do know this, they will get upset. Normal people will be whoa, that's a bridge too far for me. And they don't even want to touch on it. They don't even want to poke that bear because they are afraid of that, and they are hinging the future of their entire franchise on this movie changing things.
Yeah, because they're using that as the relaunch point for the franchise. But then they said they're welcoming to him come back.
If this one fails, it could be a dominoes to saying we don't want that one, we don't want the other one.
If Ezra Miller is the only actor who is not going to be recast in the new DCU,
it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
He's never
absolutely
playing that. He's never
going
to be in it
that
again.
Decision.
I don't think he'll ever.
You think they don't?
Oh yeah, he's
cast
gone.
again?
Yeah, he's
gone.
Because they said that the discussion is yet to be had, and they're ready to figure it out what the best path forward is.
Yep.
I don't think he'll ever play the Flash again. Now, if he's going to play something else years in the future, that could be the truth. I just think that is a way to say something without saying anything.
Yeah.
To say we haven't made any decisions yet. Okay.
But you made your decision about Gal Gadot. You made your decision about Henry Cavill. You made your decision about Jason Momoa, etc.
Right,
they're hastily.
I know, but if there is no news, then there's nothing to write about. If they say, "Hey, that decision's made," headlines: Ezra Miller fired, blah 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 blah. Then people are like, "Oh, what did Ezra Miller do?" The people who have no idea.
So you just don't rehire.
You just do nothing because there's nothing to write.
Yeah.
There's something to report. There's nothing to report.
Well, there will be something to report once they reboot and they have to have another Flash.
Correct.
Or that's theoretically farther down the line.
Or if you're James Gunn and you're saying I don't want anybody to know that at the end of the movie George Mackay is playing Barry Allen, which is the right move. But
I think you say Mackay Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer plays the Flash.
The 1917 guy.
I want Mackay Pfeiffer as the Flash now.
There was reports that he was on set for reshoots.
Okay.
So
that would be interesting. Yeah, is that who you'd cast?
That's who I would go for.
That's who you'd cast. Who do you think they should cast for Batman? For Batman the Brave and the Bold, and who should they cast for Damian Wayne?
Okay. So because I thought they were going to go with a younger Batman until that. Now there's going to be a 15-year-old Damian Wayne. Yeah. Then I think you can get a 15-year-old kid whose dad is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay. I think Jake Gyllenhaal, he'll have to buff up.
I mean, have you seen him in Southpaw?
Yeah, you'll have to buff up. I think you go with somebody less known. See, this is why they keep getting in trouble, because they keep hiring these well-known actors who have all these problems. I guess Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't have problems.
He wants this too.
But
he wants it.
Marvel is smart enough usually to just for a lot of their characters, they hire these no names that nobody's heard of, and then they just keep them around. I guess Jonathan Majors is a bigger name now with Creed 3 coming out and stuff like that. But in general, cast it'd be funny if they went with Armie Hammer. Go Armie Hammer, I say. Go Armie Hammer. And
see, if you I think a very interesting Bruce Wayne is your guy,
Jim Caviezel.
No,
Jim Caviezel. All the way.
Reacher.
Oh, I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now. Or if you're going to go
Alan Ritchson.
Alan Ritchson.
Alan Ritchson.
It'd be very interesting. It'd be a very
dude,
different.
He's huge.
Huge,
that dude would be an enormous. He's bigger than Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah.
Every time people bring up the next Batman or the next Superman, and someone brings up an idea for who it could be, they're like, not muscular enough, not buff enough.
Alan Ritchson's definitely buff enough.
They're supposed to work out and usually take steroids.
Zachary Bloom says Jeffrey Dean Morgan should have played Thomas Wayne. Didn't he play Thomas Wayne?
He did play Thomas Wayne
in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but he's saying he should have been the Batman
in the Beyond the
Flashpoint
Flashpoint version.
Yeah, which would have been cool.
That would have been very cool. The Flashpoint version is where in the Flashpoint version, Bruce Wayne dies and Thomas Wayne lives, and his wife becomes the Joker.
Yeah. Which is absurd. But
but it's awesome. Yeah. That story was always awesome. So I don't know, but it is annoying, Mary, that we have to talk about creepy Ezra Miller, who they don't even they've done what the media does best. They just pretend it doesn't happen, and now the average person doesn't know about what happened when he was in, Germany, what happened when he was in Iceland, all of the choke slams.
Or Hawaii, terrorizing the entire
literally,
island.
And that has to be held in the same vein. And what annoyed me about this is when, I don't remember who it was talking about it, where they literally talk about how Zachary Levi, they're like, he's a bit evangelical. I'm like, we're at a point now.
He isn't.
We're at a point now where having any opinion on religion that's not awful.
He doesn't even believe in
that
God.
Says that religion isn't awful is being evangelical.
No, any position that's not religious people are subhuman is considered being at a God's not dead level evangelical.
Yeah.
You know?
So
that subhuman trash thinks some people are worse than others. Yep. The opinion.
I'm thinking of, becoming non-binary so that I can do whatever I want without consequences, and I'll be beyond reproach.
Yeah.
Stunning and brave.
Yeah, I think that would be very stunning and brave of me.
It's just, it doesn't interest me.
It's hard not to resent it.
What doesn't interest me is the fact that we're going to have to keep talking about this all the way up until the Shazam movie comes out. And when Ezra Miller comes out, no articles will be dedicated to this. They'll find a way to sidestep it. They'll make it about everything but Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
And theoretically, by then it won't matter because the marketing, like, will his image be rehabilitated enough that he can then go and do interviews
Honestly,
again?
I think it comes down to something as simple as, like, they're just getting rid of the normal white dudes, right? Like, Henry Cavill, way too normal, way too white.
I don't know. I mean, they've still got
Zachary Levi, normal white dude.
John Cena's a normal white dude.
But
he's
he's
invisible.
a CCP agent, so he's an exception.
Fair enough. Does that mean he's allowed because he's
Robert Pattinson not a normal white
Robert
dude?
Pattinson's a pretty normal white dude.
He's by no means normal, but he looks
He's
normal.
still a straight.
You don't think he's normal?
There was all those stories about him having sexy time with Zoe Kravitz on set. That's very normal white dude behavior.
That's true.
Like, it's like,
I didn't see those stories.
What's more normal than
Based.
like the guy like getting someone? The stories were like that they were having sex on the Batmobile on set. Like, whether any of that was true or not was never actually
That sounds
proven.
like BS to me.
Yeah, but it's still very normal.
And he had COVID.
Yeah. It's like they were not 6 feet apart. No. They were much closer than 6 feet apart.
It's like the new Me Too.
Yep.
You like hooked up without taking proper COVID precautions.
Just like with Wednesday Addams and the doing the dance while being positive for COVID, like you were having sex on set. Well, positive during COVID time, that's a problem. Yeah. It's not a problem that you were doing the unsanitary things on property that other people were going to touch. It's that you were doing it during COVID.
Right.
That's the problem.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.